A man walks into a bar, orders a pint and a glass of dry white and pays with an American Express. And my friend surveys his seamless suit and shirted arm around his wife and says with stinging bitterness, "Oh, I'd love to have an easy life." And for a moment, I am pure jealousy. See, I haven't had a penny to my name since I changed it for the stage, and pride aside, I might as well confess that when I say friend, I mean colleague, and yes, we work behind said bar, and no, we don't get living wage. And so for the briefest of blinks, it's tempting to think that easy would be perfect. But I shake that thought off quicker than I do a cocktail. See, I don't want easy. I don't want breezy. The only lemon squeezy I need is going into the vodka sour that I'm cautiously cobbling together for the sleazy regular, cheesily waving a tenner at me across the crowded counter. I counter my colleague's casual comment with a question. Do you? Do you really? Because I don't. I don't want an easy life. I want the kind of life that by the end of it, I'm tired. Proper exhausted, like I need a cup of tea and a chocolate digestive before I can even begin to digest it, that kind of life. I want the kind of life that leaves me reeling, feeling like I couldn't do another one even if you paid me. Even if you made me dinner first and I got to change my clothes, I would want to feel done. I wouldn't ever like to feel like when my life was over, I had enough energy to live another one. I want life to take it out of me, to lead me off the beaten track, to smack the living daylights out of me. I don't want the kind of life that cuts me any kind of slack. I want the kind of life that doesn't text me back, that tells me I'm not relationship material, that tells me my CV needs work, that tells me my lipstick clashes with my dress, that tells me I have insufficient funds, that tells me to fuck off. I want life to mug me, to steal my iPhone, my £130 headphones, and oddly my makeup bag that leaves me limping back from Bethnal Green looking at the bright side. No one was stabbed and my purse landed at my feet. You know what, apart from that particular circumstance, I never want life to land at my feet. I want it to sweep me off of them, to keep me on the toes of them, to keep me permanently perched on the edge of every single seat. And you know what? If life really is a roller coaster, I want to do more than ride it. Or if it's a mini full of clowns, I want to don my oversized shoes and bow tie and try my best to get inside it. Or if life really does have a meaning, I want to take my time to find it. I want to go searching for it, and I want it to be in the last place I look. Actually, scratch that, second last. I never want to stop looking until I have to. And even then, I only want to discover it in the final line of a really, really good book, and it will be bloody satisfying. You know when you're in the middle of a life and then you lose your place and you have to start back at the beginning, but then you end up discovering this whole massive thing that you missed the first time because you were distracted? Yeah, I want that kind of life. Or you know sometimes when you think you've saved your life, but then you log back in and it's all been deleted and you didn't do a backup? Or actually, I want the kind of life where saving isn't an option. Where you can't Control-Alt-Delete when you break. When you have to fix it the old-fashioned way with a stiff drink, a quiet cry and a bath. I want life to lead me up the garden path. And I want the path to be long and winding and badly paved, and I want to get to the end of it eventually. To the shed with the spider's webs, and I want to sit inside with a torch and a stack of faded photos and sift through them until I find one I want to look at. And even then there's no name to the face I find, and so I stick it up on the wall and spend the rest of my life trying to match it with strangers, until eventually I settle for someone with similar features but a kind heart. I want a life that starts in the middle and muddles me up. I want it to be a song I can't remember the words to, or a riddle that I can't for the life of me work out, but on which I won't, and I repeat, won't give up. Or a bad joke that starts well but falls flat. And I want to pick my life back up off the carpet and retell it in front of an audience, into a microphone. And I want it to be one of those long and convoluted jokes that has twists and turns and pointless sub-narratives. Like, did you hear that one about that time where I liked someone I shouldn't? Or that other time when I told him? Or that other time when I didn't? And I want it to be full of mistakes, to go back on itself, to question and doubt itself, to leave me red-faced and downtrodden, wandering the sodden streets in too small shoes with a heavy rucksack in the rain. I want it to be a dirty joke, to be gritty and difficult to swallow, one of those jokes that makes people unfollow me on Twitter, that makes me reconsider my choice of words or career or religion. I want it to be so awkward that when I get to the end, I am met with stunned silence and tumbleweed. But I need to stress that with all that said, I want a life with no punchline. I want the chicken to cross the road in my life because it was walking down Easy Street and got bored. I want the Englishman, the Irishman and the Scotsman to get up off their arse and get shit done because they want more. And I want to knock on the door that opens when another one closes and be turned away just enough times to make it really worth it when someone lets me in. And when I walk into a bar, I want to be able to not afford a gin and make do with Diet Coke. So Mr. Credit Cards, you can keep your effortless lifestyle because I don't want to be the setup for an easy and satisfying joke. By all means, laugh. Because my life, it's funny. But my lack of money, my ridiculous luck with men, terrible cocktail skills, and inability to get through a day without hurting myself in some way, that's my life. Sometimes it's hard, but I like it that way.